My name is Tristram Korten. I'm a journalist, mostly magazine work. I've just written and published a book titled Into the Storm. It was published by Ballantine, not by me, about a hurricane that sank 2 cargo ships in 2015, the resulting search and rescue efforts, and I also take a look at climate change and its impact on hurricanes. I've always grown up around the water, and I'm in awe of its power. And when news emerged of El Ferro's disappearance, I was immediately transfixed. I'm a freelance journalist, I don't have a big organization behind me, and this was a national story, so that there didn't really look like a way for me to get into it. But I was still really interested. It was, front page of the New York Times and the Washington Post and the Evening News. Nonetheless, I paid attention. I went onto the Coast Guard website looking for the next schedule of their press briefings, and I thought I might attend one or two, and saw this little press release on a rescue that occurred the same night that El Ferro disappeared. Rescue of a 230-foot cargo ship. El Ferro was 790, and the entire crew was saved. And I expected to see something about that, but nobody ever wrote about it. And I made some inquiries and talked to the Coast Guard, and they had sent out a helicopter in the middle of the night, in the middle of a storm, dropped a rescue swimmer in the water, and for the entire night he swam and took these survivors one by one and put them into a rescue basket. And I mean, it was just such a heroic mission that I wanted to write about it. And it takes me a while to get going, to get approval. So I had to write a proposal. I sent it to my editor at GQ. They maybe approved it in February, and I started reporting in March. Still nobody wrote about this. The story ran in November of 2016. Still nobody had written about this. And I think that this is a good time for journalists to sort of reflect, right? Clearly, El Ferro is the bigger story, not just because they were American crews, but it was a big ship and it disappeared. There was a mystery and we needed to know what happened, and there was real news value in that. Nonetheless, had this been a, billionaire's fancy yacht with a crew of 3 and they were rescued in this manner, I guarantee you it would have been written about by somebody. But nobody wrote about these guys because they were poor Haitians on an old ship. And it's not racism, it's not anything, maybe a little bit of classism, but it's inherent in the thirst for stories. We ignore poor people. And I'm not blaming anybody. There was El Ferro sucked the oxygen out of the room, as it were. And look, I'm the press, so it did get covered, but it's remarkable that this amazing event was not recorded sooner. And I sort of been gradually going longer and longer at a time when, if you're in the media, you're constantly hearing, shorter, online. But I went from a daily, ultimately to a weekly, and then I was writing for monthlies, and now I did a book. And it suits me perfectly to do books. I would like to do another book. I like this cycle of doing a magazine story and doing a book. Magazines are nice because you can be more timely. And then books are great because you really get to indulge in the writing and the research and really just lose yourself in the topic.